Warning, we are about to spoil the movie Time Bandits. If you haven't seen the film, or you plan on watching it, then click away now. Or if you've already seen it, or you just don't care, then please stick around. So, what are we going to do for an opening joke?
Silence, you fool! Actually, that is a very good question.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Roulette. Today is an episode that's going to be really interesting because this movie was a trip.
Yeah, this is us finishing up director favorites, and well, no, wait, I don't want to segue into the movie yet, but this one kind of joins In the Mouth of Madness as being. I mean, we don't expect a movie to be bad unless it's part of J-horror roots now, but
well, that's my biggest regret so far on this show.
You also agreed to watching The Strain, so yeah, 2 regrets.
Kind of evens out. Yeah, 4 movies and 2 seasons of a TV show.
Since one movie was 3 hours, that evens out to a small TV show.
Yeah. All right.
But this one kind of came out of nowhere on being way better than we both expected.
Yeah. This is the 1981 film from director Terry Gilliam.
Okay. Before we get into it, we went quiet.
I was wondering. I was like, what? Is he not going to acknowledge it today? Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's like, no, you don't get away from it. Whose favorite do you think it is? What?
Well, you broke up there for a good long second. There was just silence.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I asked, whose favorite do you think it is?
Okay, so since I promised not to cheat this time, this is more of an educated guess. I am going to, and I thought about this beforehand so there wouldn't be, awkward silence like the last episode. I'm going to guess Wes Anderson.
I think you were slightly reading my mind.
Why?
Because I was saying Wes Craven in my mind to throw you off.
Oh, okay.
And at some point I was just going Wes. But in case you're wondering, Cameron can just read minds sometimes. It's annoying.
I apologize.
No, it was not Wes Anderson.
Okay.
It is Guillermo del Toro's favorite.
Oh, I can see that. And because there was a bit of logic to it too, because I looked at just general, how weird his movies are and the general fantasy kind of aspects that he has, and I was like, that's a very similar style. So
this is me gonna sound like a pretentious film nerd, but Wes Anderson is a lot earlier than 80s. He's more vaudeville type humor.
That makes sense.
Design.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
I think it makes sense for Del Toro. Still going by set design with how weird it is and how well set up everything is in order to show where you are.
I can totally see that. Yeah.
Especially Evil's Lair, which we'll get to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can totally see that looking at his movies and all that shit. Yeah, I can totally see Del Toro being influenced by Time Bandits. Absolutely. All right. That's cool as hell. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, because I have seen Pan's Labyrinth. I think that's the only one I've seen. So. Have
you seen Pacific Rim?
Oh yeah, I did. So that's right.
Okay.
I have seen 2 of his. I always forget that that's Del Toro.
Yeah, that it's so off-brand for him.
It is. It's still really fucking good, but it's like I don't think of that and go, yeah, that's a Del Toro movie.
Actually, there's a really good essay. I forget the creator's name, but he talked about how Del Toro is a rare director because he does these ridiculous setups in movies, but he never tries to play it up for comedy on it being ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's refreshing to see like this fantasy element that is taken seriously. So,
yeah, you don't need one of the people from Earth going like, Wow, isn't that weird?
Yeah, like pointing it out how weird it is, trying to be all meta and shit. No, it's just like he just rolls with it. That's what makes it so good. So
Yeah, it's honestly a nice change of pace. But this isn't about Del Toro. This is about Terry Gilliam.
yes, the man himself. Such an interesting career he had. Started out as one of the members of Monty Python, and then moved into movies because he was always like a really creative type, like a director or behind the scenes stuff. Because he did all the little animations for Monty Python's Flying Circus in the '60s.
I thought that was him. I didn't know.
Yeah, that was totally him. Yeah, and he helped like with all the special effects and shit. And it's so interesting how he did kind of move on to become a serious film director, because I know everyone during the filming of Monty Python and the Holy Grail, that was kind of, I think, co-directed by Terry Gilliam and I forget who else. And Terry Gilliam was like a lot more strict with everybody, trying to get like these really artsy shots and all that. And the other director, I forget which member of the other Pythons directed it, but like he was more laid back, and he more just got shots based on what would be funny. Um, and so everyone hated working with Terry Gilliam because he'd sit there and make them do everything until it was perfect. And then I think like when they finally finished the movie, everyone was exhausted. Like it was such a long shooting schedule because, it was their first movie. They were inexperienced and all that. And they're like the raw footage came back and it was beautiful.
All worth it.
Yeah. But yeah, and so that's just so interesting to me that he kind of went on to be this acclaimed director. I think he was American and then he got British nationality. I think he was like the only trope of Monty Python to be American, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
But yeah, and he just has such a unique style. It's really cool, and it translates really well to this whole fantasy thing, because he has fantasy elements in a lot of his other movies as well. So
Yeah, because Brazil has, well, that's more sci-fi, but also fantasy.
yeah, it has like these weird, like the visions of the flying person or whatever that was. So
Didn't he do an adaptation of Alice in Wonderland as well?
I am not sure. He might have.
I think he did.
Yeah, that would make sense. I could see him doing that.
I need to watch more of his movies. So far I like his work.
Oh yeah, same. Because I think we've both seen 3 of his movies: Brazil, Fear and Loathing, and this now.
Oh, I always forget Fear and Loathing's by him. But we should probably focus on the one we're supposed to talk about this episode.
Yeah, so I just want to give a little background to Terry Gilliam, just because I find that whole story fascinating, going from like a 60s television show comedian to an acclaimed film director. Yeah.
Okay. So, fucking synopsis.
If this sounds like it's all over the place, it's because it kind of is. This movie is really weird in that events kind of just happen.
Yeah, the end of this movie is just things happen.
Pretty much. So I don't know how long this is going to take, but I'll let the maestro take it away here.
Maestro time!
No one is going to get that but us.
Okay. So, we open with a little British boy named Kevin. Kevin lives in a normal household, strict parents, sometime in the 80s?
The 80s question mark? Yeah, it's never really defined what time period him and his parents live in.
Yeah, but he goes to bed one night, and a horse with a knight on the back comes out of his closet, charges through his room, and leaves.
Of course.
His parents don't see any of it, and no one really believes him, so he grabs a camera and waits for it to happen again. But a bunch of very short bandits come out, and while they're running away from something, Kevin scares them by using a flashlight, but then they realize he's a kid and just kind of dogpile him.
Yeah.
And they're like, where is it? And then they start pushing on his wall, and it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and then they fall into a portal.
Of course. Like you do.
And suddenly they're in the time of Napoleon just taking over Italy. And it turns out these are renowned bandits, and they are and they have a map that allows them to travel through time, and they are planning to just rob people throughout history and become stinking rich. So they're going around. Their plan is to rob Napoleon, and Napoleon is an idiot.
Yeah.
And the people left in Italy who haven't run away are putting on a puppet show because Napoleon likes seeing short people.
Yeah, because he, there's all these history jokes of him being short, and the funny thing is he kind of has this inferiority complex where he wants short people or something like that.
Yeah, which before the person writing the stage show, after the puppeteer dies, almost kills himself, the dwarfs come up and do a little dance and kind of fight, and this entertains Napoleon enough to hire them all as his top guards and generals.
Yeah.
Just roll with it. Which then they get Napoleon drunk, they steal all his gold and paintings, and then go through another time portal, where we find out they're not renowned bandits. This is their first time stealing.
Yep. Honestly, for their first time stealing, pretty good haul.
Pretty good haul. They crash into the Middle Ages. Also, God is chasing them.
Yeah, literal God.
And he's like that creepy floating face from Courage the Cowardly Dog that told Eustace to try grow a plant.
No, it was return the slab.
No, he's saying that, but he reminds me more of the flowing, glowing head.
Oh, yeah. That
it's kind of a mix of those two.
Because I think that was clearly the influence on the show, because he says, like, return the map.
Return the map. Yeah, but also the creepy face. It's bad.
I hated it.
Hold on. Yeah, and the map they stole was from God. It was God's map. And the bandits worked for God, like they would help invent things for the world, and they got bored of that, and they also got in trouble, so they just decided to steal the map and go through the broken fabric of time and take shit.
Yep.
Then they run into Robin Hood, who they don't want to be with because they want to keep all their shit.
Because they're a bunch of socialists and they want to redistribute the wealth.
No, Robin Hood wants to redistribute the wealth. They're a bunch of capitalists.
Capitalists, that's the other term. Yeah. It's funny because Robin Hood is played by John Cleese, so of course.
He just fucking towers over them.
Yeah, because he is a tall person. He's like 6'5" or something. He's like genuinely a tall person.
And we find out the devil, who is just called evil in this.
Yeah.
Also, God is the all-supreme being, I think they call him.
Yeah, I think it's the supreme being, yeah.
But I'll just call them God and devil, because that's what they are.
It's easy, yeah. It's just, yeah. I think he was just trying to be clever and not directly call them God and the devil.
He didn't want to get banned like, which Monty Python movie was it? Life of Brian.
Life of Brian, yeah. Where the whole controversy came about because they thought that Brian was supposed to be Jesus and they were mocking him, and they're like, no, Jesus appears in the film completely separately.
Yeah, the whole joke is people are mistaking Brian for Jesus.
Yes, exactly.
I don't feel that's a spoiler. That's the sap of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
But God shows up again, and Kevin gets split it up from the group, and he ends up in ancient Greece, in helping a warrior fight another warrior who wears a bull skull.
Yeah, a boar skull. Yeah, it's like this. Was it a bull? You're right. It was a bull.
Yeah,
he was like this giant Hulk of a man who carried a club and wore a boar skull.
And the warrior he helps is played by Sean Connery. And the warrior turns out to be kind of the king of a city in Greece?
Yes.
I guess?
Yeah.
And Kevin gets the honor of being Sean Connery's son.
Yep.
However, the bandits show back up and basically kidnap Kevin, even though he doesn't want to leave. Because, I mean, who doesn't want Sean Connery as a dad?
Actually.
Pretty good. Oh, I was going to say the devil is also trying to trick them into coming to him, so that way he can steal God's map and have a technical revolution.
Yeah. Like make the
I
whole
don't
world
mean
evil.
it's technically a revolution, I mean a technologically based revolution.
Yeah, because he's fascinated with computers. He's like, soon I will understand all the technology.
They end up on Titanic, they kind of argue a bit, and then they fall for the devil's trick where it's like, yeah, see, the map says right here, there's a big old thing over here. We just need to believe and we'll get there.
Yeah, it's something like the most valuable object in the universe or something like that.
Which is probably an easy bake oven.
Yeah, I mean, just let's be honest here.
And then the drugs began to take hold.
From here on, it gets really trippy because, of course, the Titanic sinks.
The Titanic sinks, and then they believe hard enough and are sent to the time of legends, where a pirate ship with a house on it shows up that also holds an ogre and a woman who is helping, like, the ogre who has a bad back, and he's just old.
Presumably his wife or his maid or something like that.
Yeah,
because that was the whole joke, because he has a bad back and like can't breathe well or something like that. So random.
and then they cat because the group ends up in the sea and then gets caught in a fishnet. So the beast and wife pull them up and plan to eat them all, but the dwarves help him get his back better before tossing him overboard, and then she also gets pushed overboard, so they steal the boat, but the boat turns out to be the hat of a giant man.
Yeah.
And then they inject sleeping drugs into his brain.
He's probably dead, I'm just saying that. Him getting sleepy and passing out was probably just him dying.
Well, yeah, because they probably just pumped air into his brain, which will fucking kill you.
Oh, yeah.
They knock the giant out, they leave, they find an invisible wall, which they break and find the evil castle.
Yep.
And I lost my notes here.
They're like on top of this giant maze thing, and then like they become a game show.
Well, they get tricked and captured.
That's it. That's the term I was looking for.
And then they do some swanging.
Schwangin', yep.
Because they're above a bombless pit, so they swing across, they get themselves safe, and then they're like, we should just leave. But Kevin is like, we shouldn't let evil use the map. It's like, yeah, you got a point. So all the time bandits go throughout time to bring weapons to fight evil. None of them really work. Then just God comes in and turns evil to stone.
Yeah, he's about to kill everybody, and then just bam. Last minute.
Last minute, God does it, and God is like, yeah, this was my plan all along. How do you think I didn't know this?
Yeah, I'm literally God.
I'm omnipotent.
Yeah.
I knew this would happen. And then God tells the time bandits to put evil in a bin while the stone remains. Evil falls apart and one of the stones slides under, I think it's the tank. There was a tank.
Yeah, there was a tank, yeah. Of course, there was just people from different times and trying to defeat evil, like cowboys.
They put all the stones they think in the bin, and then God's like, okay, we have to leave you here. Bye.
Yeah, everyone's leaving. He's like, no, don't leave me.
And then Kevin wakes up in his home, which is on fire. He gets saved by firefighters. His parents are holding, like, a toaster oven. And they open it up to see the stone in there, and Kevin had the camera the whole time and sees all the pictures, seeing that this was real. And he goes, it's evil! Don't touch it! And then his parents explode and die. Sean Connery was one of the firemen, winks at him, drives away, and then the movie ends.
It's such a fucking random ending.
It's evil! Don't touch it! Boom!
Arguably. Was that memed or something? Is that how you knew it?
I think it was on the Instant Regret playlist.
Oh,
just
okay.
that one clip.
Arguably the most famous clip from the movie, then.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, so this movie was a fucking trip.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. To put it simply, this was a fucking trip, and it was so fucking funny though, and well done. Like the humor and the adventure aspects were just so well done.
Like, I honestly, when they explained what the setup is, it was a perfect comedic setup of people take the map of God and are going through time because since the universe was made in 7 days, there's a bunch of holes in it.
Yeah.
It just sets itself up for absolute ridiculous comedy,
Yeah.
and it's great.
It's fantastic. This is a really fun movie, honestly. Oh Lord, yeah, and it just I loved how like everyone was portrayed. Like Evil was hilarious.
Evil's the best character.
Yeah.
I will fight on that.
Exactly. It was like the joke we did in the beginning. That's one of the funniest lines in the movie, where he's like, what about this, boosh, and he like explodes, and you see his body.
No, it's what will you do when you get the map? He explodes. His guy is like, actually, that's a good question.
It just keeps walking. He's like, there's something. He's like, oh my goodness, I have a good feeling about this. He's like, oh no, don't worry, it'll pass. Just so funny.
Yeah, the deliveries are great.
Oh yeah. I do love at the end too, where God comes in like a whole big and flash, like and he's like, oh God, I hate doing that entrance. It's just so loud.
I always forget how loud that entrance is. It's a bunch of little jokes like that. It's so good.
Oh, it's great. And then just the characters throughout time, how they're portrayed, are hilarious as well. So
I think if there was like one tiny complaint I have, I wish they time traveled more around rather than like medieval sword fight times.
Because the latest they get, arguably, is 1912 with the Titanic.
Yeah, but even that's just like one set.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would have been cool to see like a mix of different like modern and futuristic times and all that. But you know,
like that. Have all the time bands getting high in the 60s or 70s type deal.
That would have been great. Oh man. Damn.
I guess the 70s just ended, so maybe that would have been too recent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like with the amount of money that was spent on like all of the special effects and sets and stuff, I can see why they limited themselves a little bit.
Oh my god, seeing before talking more about characters or the comedy, I can feel the studio crying throughout this movie.
Because it's so special effects heavy and they're so well done, it's not even funny. Like the set design and from a technical standpoint, it's ridiculous. And it's just really cool to see all that effort that was put into the movie.
Yeah, well, here's also the thing. You have those big expensive sets, you have all those extras, but also child labor laws on movies. Kevin looks about 11 to maybe 15 if you want to be very nice. There are laws where you can only have a kid on set for like, I think it's 5 hours if they're in that age range.
So yeah, that must have just literally doubled the schedule, probably.
That probably doubled the schedule, and good God, renting out those sets would have probably in the budget like crazy.
Like, damn. But in the end result, it was well worth it. I don't know if this was financially successful, but just the set design and everything was so cool.
Actually, talking about budget, I have to look at... No.
What?
That is not... Hold on. Give me a minute.
Okay. Excuse us while we do research.
Yeah, excuse me. What is that in nowadays money?
Mom! Dad! It's evil! Don't touch it!
Okay, coming back.
We're a little taken aback right now.
This was only using an inflation calculator, this was a budget of about $14.3 million.
Yeah, because it was back in the 80s, it would have cost $5 million, but adjusted for inflation, it was $14 million. That's insane.
I think that's like John Wick 3 levels of budget.
Oh my god. I know I said this during the break, but it's like, I don't know what kind of fucking wizard Terry Gilliam is, but if it was made for only that budget, that's ridiculously impressive. Holy shit.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm wrong on John Wick budget.
Okay.
I think it's more of a John Wick 1 budget.
Did 2 and 3 have a much higher budget than the first one?
Yeah. It won't tell me the first... Okay. Whatever. It's a low budget. That's super low budget.
Yeah, that just makes it all the more impressive, frankly.
Maybe the child labor laws weren't enforced yet. That could be a thing.
That could also be a thing. So.
I forget when they became a thing.
Yeah, because this was made in 1981, so I don't know if they were around back then. But
or stunt doubles exist, I guess.
Yeah.
But even then, Kevin's face is seen throughout most of it.
Yeah, he's always just kind of there, so... Yeah, that's insane. Terry Gilliam. We need to talk.
Fucking budget wizard
God
over here.
Damn, yeah, for real. I can take a $14 million movie and make it look like a $30 million movie. Ooh.
Fuck, I was thinking this would be like mid-budget of 50 or something.
God damn.
I should have probably looked up box office in that break to see
it did stupid good at the box office.
It did stupid good?
It was a budget of like 5 million, 11 million we said in today's money, but it made 42.4 million between US and Canada.
Oh, just in US and Canada.
Yeah.
Damn.
42.4 million.
So why does no one talk about it?
I don't know. And everyone who's...
I literally never heard of this movie till we put it on the wheel.
Yeah, and everyone who's reviewed it has given it really good write-ups. It says Time Bandits received critical acclaim. It holds an 89 on Rotten Tomatoes. Like,
what the fuck?
I don't know why no one talks about this movie. It definitely deserves more attention. Holy shit.
Because it's a comedy that's actually funny.
Oof. You're probably not wrong there.
A comedy that's funny and has aged well.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, and apparently there was an Arrow video release of it, so that's cool.
Ooh. Yeah. I think Criterion owns it at the moment, though.
Okay, yeah, because we watched it on HBO, and they have a deal with Criterion, so we noticed a lot of other Criterion movies on their streaming.
Which will make our jobs easier next year.
Yes, but yeah, like you said, just the comedy and everything is so good. Getting back to that and the characters.
Yeah, the setup is good. The acting is really well done.
Yeah.
The timing is fucking funny.
It is. It's great. There's some really funny shit in it. Because I know, speaking about the cast, it says in his book Monty Python and blah blah blah. It's someone said that it represent like the 6 people represented like different members of the Monty Python ones.
Huh.
So, but it was just all of them were funny. Yeah, just everyone. I think everyone just kind of got what kind of movie it was going to be and just did their best.
Yeah, everyone just gave 100%, and it just makes it so enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Like, yeah, and again, just the fantasy elements and everything is so well done. I'm trying to think of where to go with this. The soundtrack's really good too. It has this like adventure soundtrack and stuff, and some of it was apparently done by George Harrison. So,
who's George Harrison?
I told you yesterday, Justin.
I know. Oh, right, the Beatles.
Yes, there you go. Forgive him, ladies and gentlemen. I know
I'm not a music person.
I know all you Beatles fans are going to be up in arms now, just like, how do you not know who George Harrison is?
Buddy, I forget family member names. You think I remember famous musicians?
It's true.
I like that guy from AC/DC. What was his name? Jimi Hendrix. Great rapper.
Oh God! Oh no! It's like a news article. There was controversy today on Cinema Roulette.
This is the one episode that gets fucking popular. It's just a bunch of music fans getting pissy with me.
Pretty much. They're like, he didn't know who the Beatles was, and they compared them to a rapper. God.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how to talk about
because it's a really
a
hard,
comedy.
It's a really hard movie to talk about because, like we said, events in this film just kind of happen because they jump through time, and just all this weird shit just kind of happens. It's one where you just kind of sit back and you enjoy the ride. You just enjoy the crazy shit that's going on here.
Like, the first act is where you are supposed to grab hold, and if you don't grab that, you're fucked. You will be left behind and confused. Yep. You just need to let this ride go.
It is kind of those movies where it's like it is a ride, and if you're not 100% on board with it, you won't enjoy it.
Yeah, just...
Because there were so many moments in this movie where we just kind of sat back and we were like, well, that just happened. Moving on.
Yeah, my notes, seriously, because... when I was talking about Find the Evil Castle or with the Giant, basically the time of legends is where drugs take hold.
Yep.
And my notes are 4 lines. That's it, because it's so hard to keep up with mentally.
It really is. God, I wonder what kind of drugs he did to come up with this shit. My God, I want some.
Scary thing is if he isn't on any.
Yeah, wouldn't that be scary? Oh man.
But the set design too is fantastically done, especially Evil's lair. I love how he had his lair is literal giant Legos because it's the building blocks of the universe type deal.
Yeah, I get it.
Just, the final battle is actually a lot of fun.
It is. It's really well done when they bring in different people from different time periods. Like they have cowboys. They have they bring in a tank. They bring in like a spaceship with a laser.
The knights.
The knights. Yeah, I bring in knights
who get horribly impaled.
Oh Lord, yeah, because like they throw a bunch of swords at him and shit, and then like he takes his cape and like puffs it up and then like pushes it back at them in cartoon style, and they're just stabbed to death. They're dead.
No, the ones that go into the smoke when he puts up the smoke, and then when the smoke clears, they're all just in this weird arc.
Oh yeah, that too.
Nailed on each other.
Yeah, like the horses are the ones that come out, and the little person there too, one of the time bandits. So
yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, this movie kind of gets fucked at points, really. There's a lot of really dark humor, and that it kind of took me off guard. It was hilarious.
But it's the 80s, so PG.
Yeah, it was PG, right? Yeah, fucking hell.
So happy we've been family friendly the past 2 episodes with these PG movies.
Air quotes, yeah. This is 80s PG when PG meant something. God damn.
Hey, Cabaret was 70s.
That's true. But yeah, it's just like where the one guy died, and then like like you said, like the one band, like the leader of the Sage keeps trying to kill himself.
Yeah, he like puts a gun to his head, the bandits show up, and then he's trying to after they do their little shtick, he tries to hang himself with the curtain rope.
Yeah, because like because Napoleon kind of like was laughing at the first one with the puppets, but then like all the other ones were terrible, but he kind of like just was looking at it. He wasn't even reacting to it, which scared him, and he was like, okay, I'm dead, I may as well just
It's so dark.
Oh Lord.
Or when they crash in medieval times, they crash into a carriage of 2 people who are running away together. And then those people get robbed by bandits and tied to a tree, and you see like all their stuff has been stolen except their underwear. But we come back later and we see more bandits taking their underwear as well.
It's so dark.
And I mean old-timey underwear, like literally stuff you wear under your normal clothes.
Yeah, like old-timey long johns or whatnot.
Jeez, perverts.
God. Yeah, again, this is just a hard movie to talk about because
it's hard to talk about without just being it's a good comedy. It's funny.
Is there anything else technical wise we can say about it? I think we've already said it. Yeah.
The special effects were really well done.
Yeah, like we said, like the set design was great, but yeah, also the special effects were really well done for the time period. So
the matte paintings when they were used, actually the scene where they're a hat for a giant is really well done.
Yeah, that composite there was so well done, like the mixture of like that filmed footage and how because it helps too, like because like he was underwater and they filmed him really close up, and then like he was always filmed like from down up, so he looked huge, so and like in slow motion, giving the illusion of being a giant. So
yeah.
But it was really solid. Like it was seamless the way they transitioned from that into like them like crawling out of it. And as you see the giant in the background, it was just, oh my God, how was this made for like only $14 million?
I have no fucking clue, man.
God. Is that it?
I don't really have much else. This was just surprise. Honestly, if you have HBO Max, watch this. It's a great time.
It is. I don't want to be redundant or anything, so I think that's where we're going to stop it. So,
where are we at?
40 minutes.
Oh, okay, we're fine.
Yeah.
And we don't have a shit ton of banter cut at the beginning because we've been good boys at the beginning.
We've been scarily good when it comes to that. Sheesh.
Only took us 90 or so episodes.
Yeah, for real. God. Okay, so it's time, people.
No, not yet. You need to let me set stuff up. So keep bantering.
Well, audience, we hope you're doing well. We're recording this the day before Thanksgiving. So
and it should be the middle of December. I hope St. Nicholas Day went well for you.
Yep, if you celebrate St. Nicholas Day. Mm-hmm.
I think St. Nicholas Day has happened, or it's going to happen. So have a happy St. Nicholas Day.
Was it St. Nicholas Day or St. Nicholas Night?
It's day somewhere.
It's true. It's high noon somewhere in the world.
It's high noon.
Thanks, Matt Mercer, for being a blessing. Yeah, because whenever we did, it was always St. Nicholas night, and we'd hang up the stockings, and in the next day we'd find them stuffed with shit. So, because is that a German tradition or?
I think it's Polish.
Yeah, because we always celebrated that too, which was interesting. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen.
Almost there, and the screen capture has.
Hopefully, a time portal doesn't open up and suck me through.
Oh, damn it. Now we have to wait for Cameron to get back.
Okay, are we ready?
Oh, you're back?
Oh, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay.
Turns out it just led to my closet. I just opened that up and walked out.
Oh, of course. We have... Oh, I would also like to say about the movie, for the horse, just so I remembered it at the beginning, I put gay horse.
Why did you put gay horse?
Because it was a horse in the closet.
Nice.
Classy humor.
Nothing but class here on Cinema
We're
Roulette.
down to 2 movies.
Yep.
In a World and Jigoku.
Yep.
I always want to say Jingoku.
I know you do. You always want to add an N for some reason.
It sounds nicer.
Yeah, so, and you might notice this wheel's a little different. We decided to just repeat it so it looks a little nicer.
Yeah, it's still a 50-50. It just looks more pleasing to the eye.
It's more palatable, if you will.
Anyway, and we're going to spin. Oh, thank.
Is it Jigoku?
Well, okay. I'm so fucking big, started reacting to Jigoku.
But at least we're not getting it last, so.
At least it's not the last. Hopefully, In a World is good, because I know nothing.
I know nothing about it either. Just like this movie. This Time Bandits was another one we kind of went into almost completely blind. So.
Yeah, and Time Bandits turned out great.
Yep.
Jigoku is on probably the worst section of the wheel we're going to have for a while.
Again, from what I remember seeing, it was fine, just mediocre.
So we may be getting another Crawl episode.
Yeah,
we will see.
At least the ending's really fucking cool.
Maybe that will save it.
Yeah.
Or it won't.
We will find out next time on Cinema Roulette.
We never say that at the end. We usually just say bye.
I know we don't. I just want to be all posh this time.
No posh. Bye.
Midnight sunshine,